here's the thing. I'm not going to say, oh, this is bad. This is horrible. This is absolutely horrible. This is the worst product ever on the market and you shouldn't buy it. Well, see, that doesn't tell you anything about the product itself. And that's what I mean. I want to keep it strictly, you know, about the product and the reasons for me not wanting to use it rather than giving an opinion. For this week's bomb or bruh, we are going to be using the Silisponge. Now, don't trip. I didn't spend a whole lot of money on this. This was literally $1.99. I don't know if you can see the tag. It was $1.99 at a little like beauty supply store in LA. Like, you know, those hole in the walls that I love. I have a love-hate relationship with them. Anyways, we're going to try this Silisponge, and I know there are a lot of reviews out there, but this is mine, so let's see how it is. I'm going to try this using my Lancome liquid foundation because it says it's going to save me foundation. Let's see how it actually applies. As per usual, I don't put any foundation underneath my eyes. Okay, so I'm not like dragging it against my skin, I'm just patting it. Interestingly enough, it's actually not that bad. You know what? I'm gonna drag it because it's like I'm using it like I would a blender, and it's taking like forever. I'm just gonna go like this and just like I'm just dragging it across my skin. Oh gosh, hold on. I don't know if this is really getting into my pores as well as I would want them to, because like I said, I like for my foundation to look like my skin, and I'm not sure if this Silisponge is cutting it. It does. I feel like it's a bit gimmicky. Like this is like, ooh. But to be honest, am I gonna reach for this and apply my makeup every single day? No, I'm not. So I'm gonna call this a bruh, because even though it applied to my face nicely, I'm still gonna go in with my beauty sponge and just kind of press on my face to make sure it has really gotten into my skin area. So I don't know, you know, I think that, guys, if you got this, you're getting it just because YouTube made you buy it. YouTube made me buy it. That's all I'm saying. It's not like, it's not going to be like my mainstay.
It ain't going to be my mainstay. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Alright, everybody, so that is this week's bomb or bruh. Short, simple, sweet, one product. What's going to be for next week's bomb or bruh? I'm not sure. I might look at this. Maybe. I don't know. Tell me in the comments if that's something you want to see for next week's bomb or bruh. Thank you guys so much for joining in another episode. I might put up another special episode this weekend. A vlog, of course, with me and the family. If that's something you want to see, make sure you come back. And if you like what you see, make sure you click the like button. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you liked about the video. Or if you didn't, tell me what you didn't. I enjoy constructive criticism. If you really like it though, or if you really hate it, click the subscribe button. If you don't want to just yet, stick around for another video. Maybe then you'll decide if you would. Alright, see you next time. So I wanted to come back in and talk about this Silisponge with you guys because I've been wearing the makeup that I applied with it. So here are the reasons why I probably won't be using this any further. Yes, I understand the idea that the Silisponge is for you know, a smooth application, I think. I understand that you might not use as much product, which I didn't really find to be the case. I used just as much product with this as I would with a beauty blender, but I felt as though I got more out of a blender than I did the sponge, because with the beauty sponge, I can really press the product into my skin and really get it in there. I tried pressing with this and it doesn't, without sliding the Silisponge on my face, I'm not really seeing any product go anywhere. I don't feel like it's really getting in and blending out onto my skin the way that I want it to. I have to literally wipe the Silisponge across my skin in order to get the product to move. And in a wiping motion across my skin, I'm not really embedding the product into my pores so that I get a flawless finished look. And I don't know if that shows through on the camera, but it showed through in my mirror, which was driving me insane, which was why in the review I started sliding it just to kind of move that product along. I use the same amount of product with the Silisponge that I would use if I were using a blender. I can't see there being any reason why I would reach for this over a blender. And that's something that kind of, you know, when it comes to a product that you say, I can't live without this, it's because from the first use, you see the importance that it has in your everyday routine. I don't see the importance with this because I feel that the blender, that's an opinion, right? I feel that the blender does more for my makeup than the Silisponge would. Here's another opinion. I'm sorry. It's the last one. It does feel quite gimmicky. Like, all, you know, who's gonna beat their face with an egg? And that's kind of what this reminds me of. It doesn't seem to me to provide any type of to me putting on my makeup. It seems like, you know, something fun to try to see if it'll work, but my skin feels it feels a little bit, I don't want to say abrasive, but I don't know the word, when I have to drag it across my skin, and I don't necessarily like that feeling. One of the reasons why we don't use one of the reasons why, let me talk about me. One of the reasons why I don't use brushes or like to use brushes with harsh what are they called? With the harsh, what is this called? I don't know. Why these aren't harsh, one of the reasons why I don't use brushes with harsh ends is, I don't know what it's called, is because I don't want that feeling on my face. I don't want anything harsh on my face. This dragging along my skin, I might as well have been using saran wrap to put my makeup onto my face, and that's not really what I want to do. It's not the look that I'm going for. So for those reasons, and because I just don't see a need to pick this over my blender, I'm opting not to use this, and that's why it's a bruh, you know. Also, using the or wearing the foundation throughout the day, I noticed that the coverage didn't stay as long as it would when I usually do my routine the way that I have always. I don't know if that could have been as a result of me and how I applied it. I don't think so. I just think that the way that it's being applied with a Silisponge is not the same quality as it would be if it were to be applied with a brush or a sponge or a blender. So I just wanted to pop back in. I think I made the video a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, but I hope you guys understand, and I thank you guys so much for sticking with me to the end of this video, and I will see you guys again in the next Bomber Breath.